Hello everyone. Today we will discuss another interesting topic, that is difference between micro and macroeconomics. So let's get started. The most fundamental difference between micro and macroeconomics can be derived from the word micro and macro itself. Micro stands for small unit or individual unit, whereas macro stands for a large unit or something as a whole. So this difference between micro and macro gives us a faint idea about the difference between these two branches of economy. The next difference is microeconomics deals with individual decision making units, whereas macroeconomics deals with economy as a whole. Here, individual decision making units means the unit takes its own decision without anyone's influence or any external influence. For example, a firm itself decides which product to produce and in what price it should give in the market. So these decisions are taken by that firm only. So we use individual decision making units term here, whereas macroeconomics deal with economy as a whole, which means we take a group of households or a group of industries in a region rather than individual units. The next difference is question that relates to these two branches. I gave this example so as to understand the difference between two branches of economics in a better way. Like how much money is spent by a household, or how much money is saved by an household, or how much production is done in a firm. Here we notice that I have only given the example of a single household or a firm. Whereas in microeconomics, questions that relates to this are price level in a region or total unemployment in a state. As we take aggregate units in macroeconomics, so we can find the answers to this question. If we take single unit in this area, we cannot answer these questions like price level. Do we answer like what is the price level in this market, or what is the price in this shop or this shop? No, we take an aggregate price level, like what is the price level of tomato in this market today, or what is the unemployment in Odisha in the year 2019. So as we take aggregates unit, we can answer this sort of questions in macroeconomics. The next difference is the relevance. Micro decisions are important to understand how the society performs. In microeconomics, as grassroots level is taken, usually the grassroots level is taken or individual unit is taken, we come across various questions like why poverty exists, why there is wealth gap. Because when we take single units, we can see like some people are rich, some are poor, some are doing public sector job, some are doing private sector job. So when we take single unit, we can find such differences in the grassroots level. Whereas in macroeconomics, it helps to compare the two regions on basis of certain parameters to see the relative functioning in economy. For example, if we take a toy industry in Odisha and we take a toy industry in Delhi, and on basis of certain parameters we compare which functions better. So if we take the turnover of a company of these two industries, then we can answer the question in a better way. So macroeconomics helps to answer this comparative approach, whereas in microeconomics we take the individual approach in this case. The next difference is the main tools in microeconomics are individual demand and supply, and in macroeconomics is aggregate demand and supply. This is the most easiest one, as we can understand this. The individual demands are summed up to be aggregate demand, and individual supplies are summed up to be the aggregate supply. The next difference is microeconomics works on assumption of full employment and market equilibrium. So it can be taken as a liability or a limitation of microeconomics, because we know that in reality no economy works with full employment, and economy might be in market equilibrium or in disequilibrium. So in macroeconomics such limitation do not exist because such assumptions are not taken. An economy can be in equilibrium or in disequilibrium. Here market equilibrium means, market equilibrium means when the aggregate demand and aggregate supply are equal in the economy, then market equilibrium takes place. So this may happen or may not happen in reality in economics. So microeconomics is basically a simpler version because we take a single unit, while but in macroeconomics much more complex models are involved. The next difference is in microeconomics, bottoms up approach is taken for analysis. Bottoms up means from the grassroots level we reach the aggregate level, while in macroeconomics we take the top down approach. That is, from top level we reach the bottom level or grassroots level, while in macroeconomics we from the grassroots level go to the top level. So this is basically the difference between this. So these are the seven difference between the macro and microeconomics. Hope you all understood it in better way. So thank you for watching.